Bear with me for 1 second as I start the microphone on my phone. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuning in to the Red and Gold Till I'm Dead and Cold podcast network. This is your host, Kyle J. Vigil, right back at you with a quick Red and Gold update on, I think today is the 25th. I just released another Red and Gold update this morning, I believe. But there's something going on, some rumors going on that just kind of have my wheels spinning a little bit. So I just wanted to talk about it real quick. So earlier I'm messaging with my co-host Ray Hernandez, and he asked me if I heard about the Pat Surtain rumor. And I said no, but shit, like I'll take him, right? Like fuck yeah. And this isn't even a knock on the two corners we have, but like you can't argue that like Pat Surtain isn't one of the top young rising cornerbacks in the NFL. So what, like, you would be investing in a player like for, what I'm saying, that like you would have long-term consistent play out of the corner position with somebody like that. And that's not a knock on Mooney Ward or Diamador Lenore, who I happen to really like and really invested into both of those players. And this is all based off of conversation I've had today with other fans, just communicating through the internet and stuff. But one of the obvious weaknesses that this team faces right now is the nickel position. We've seen, some inconsistency from Isaiah Oliver, inconsistency from Ambry Thomas. And I've said it from the beginning, I thought it was weird that the 49ers defensive coordinator, Steve Wilks, he said that Isaiah Oliver was going to be in for rundowns and that he would rotate with Ambry Thomas. It seems like they're kind of just leaning more towards Isaiah Oliver staying in that nickel position on most downs now. I don't know if that's by design or what, but that first, I believe it was the Pittsburgh game where we seen Diamador Lenore move inside and Ambry Thomas looked like shit on the outside. So I really feel like at this point, with Sam Womack being hurt, Ambry Thomas not being the player we think, Isaiah Oliver, he's had some flashes and he's had some, so he's made the most of the few opportunities he's been given, and he really shined only in one game so far. But right now, like, our best nickel is Diamador Lenore. So if you brought in Pat Surtain, you would easily be able to put him right in and just keep rolling, and literally probably have the best defense in the NFL, like, which we already have, right? But you have the best defense in the NFL for, a couple years to come. And so, this was going around the internet, and I didn't know if it was true, so I'm messaging and asking other people because I just got off work. It's literally 1:54 in the morning right now. And so I'm like, hey, is this true? Or like, where are you hearing this from? Whatever. So I did come across an article by Niner Nation, I believe. Let me see if I could pull that up real quick. But it was pretty much saying, like, I guess Pat Surtain's father, I can't find the article now, but that Pat Surtain's father, he put a tweet out, and it was pretty much saying, like, oh, you're soiling or toiling in the soil over there, like, you deserve better. And he was talking about his son, right? And he was talking about his son, who plays for the Denver Broncos, who just lost to the Miami Dolphins 70-20. So, and this isn't like anything, right? This is just people reacting to internet, right? Internet shit. Like, there's no basis, no truth behind this, but there is reason to theorize or have it really does get, like I said, it has your wheels turning, because I've been debating that with the 49ers having all this cap space, like obviously, right, if something comes up at the right tackle position or even the right guard position at this point, like you might look towards like, well, what can we do here? But the easier positions to fill are positions like pass rusher and, secondary, because there is a lot of them, right? Now, the 49ers are in a win now stage. They've consistently said that they have. I was able to pull up the article now. And what was interesting to me is like whoever wrote this for Niner Nation. Let me see if I can give them some credit. It was Mark DeLucci, SB Niners Nation. So, the 49ers have the most cap space in the NFL, and we have all of our picks. We have a first round pick, and we have a second round pick. And I think I said we have like 6 picks altogether in the first 4 rounds. So the 49ers have an opportunity to make another trade. They've made pretty big trades in the past, right? Christian McCaffrey being like one of the most recent. They're not afraid to sign free agents. And from the way this guy was breaking it down, he was saying like we have the most cap space in the NFL, so pretty much we could take on somebody. It could be more than one person, right? And that there's the potential that we could actually, because the cap space rolls over, there's the potential that we could actually sign this person to a longer term contract, whether it's Pat Surtain and my crazy football Madden mind will throw out some crazy predictions and stuff, and I feel like Micah Parsons really wants to be a 49er, but there's no way Dallas is ever letting him go. So, but you start looking at these teams that are failing, right? You got the Denver Broncos, right? Obviously, I don't know if they're 1-2 or if they're 0-3. I'm not sure, but you see how Minnesota is 0-3, and they have the second best pass rusher in the NFL right now in terms of sacks in Danielle Hunter. They have the best wide receiver in the NFL in Justin Jefferson, and Kirk Cousins. I don't even really want to talk about him because for right now, for us at least for right now, crossing my fingers, hope I don't jinx us, but the quarterback position isn't a worry of ours right now, right? So but we're talking about the potential that maybe it could be Pat Surtain, and then you look at like, well, right now we're not producing the amount of sacks, or I mean, I feel like I've been hearing that the whole PFF thing is that we are getting the pressures are there, but the amount of sacks and things like that, so far I don't feel like have kind of met my own personal expectations. Nick Bosa being one of them. Javon Hargrave, he's balling so far. I think he has 2 sacks. Drake Jackson had that one game where he was able to kind of make the most of the opportunities that Pittsburgh was presenting to him, and he did that, right. Much like Isaiah Oliver, we have these players that they've shown potential, and they have these flashes of greatness and NFL, like high caliber NFL play, but they don't sustain it, or they don't show it consistently, right? But man, imagine if Minnesota starts wanting to trade somebody off. Danielle Hunter, you start looking at like, well, maybe then we start getting a really crazy defensive pass rush, right? Imagine bringing in Pat Surtain. This defense is already scary as fuck. And then you put Pat Surtain on the outside with Mooney Ward on the other side, Diamador Lenore in the nickel. Oh, yeah, that would be scary. Yeah, I've had many theories about this whole cap space thing. It could be anything. It could be nothing. Who truly knows? But I think a lot of it is going to depend on how the season plays out and how injury, anything like that. But I feel like if you see this is a term I've been hearing a lot today, a blue chip player. If you see somebody like this hit the trade market, if you're the 49ers, do you make a move? Whether or not, like I think I said earlier today that the 49ers could be in a position, and this is the position that they've, pretty much painted themselves in. They've consistently said they're in a win now window. That was the whole we got to get rid of Trey Lance thing, and we can't wait. This is a Super Bowl contending team, Super Bowl window. We could potentially pull a 2021 Rams situation and just buy as many players as we can at the trade deadline. I don't think that's what they did, but we know what the Rams did, right? They pretty much bought the entire NFL to come over there. And here's two other things that I want to talk about real quick since we're here. The whole he's him, I'm him that these players are saying, or he's Himothy. That shit's hella cringe. I think Jalen Ramsey killed that shit years ago, and when people still try to use that shit sounds so weird and just, I'm him. Him. And then Taylor Swift. Could we shut the fuck up about Taylor Swift? It's all up in my NFL feed. I don't care about Taylor Swift. I want to watch football. It's bad enough we got to fucking see Kansas City all the time already. Now we're seeing them because of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. And anyways, getting off track. Yeah. But if you're the 49ers, do you pull the trigger? Because you could have a team like Dallas who had Trevon Diggs get hurt. He's out for the season, right? Maybe that led to, anytime your team loses, you look for an excuse. And we know Dallas is looking for excuses right now. But the Eagles, right? The Eagles don't need another weapon. Are they in a position to are any of these teams in a position to make those trades? I don't know, right? But right now we have the most cap space in the NFL, so maybe we are. I'm going to wrap this up. It's late. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. This has been another Red and Gold update brought to you by the Red and Gold Till I'm Dead and Cold podcast network. This is your host, Kyle J. Vigil. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Please rate, subscribe, follow me on Spotify. I am officially now on Amazon Music or Amazon Podcasts. I am on iHeart Radio Podcasts. I believe I'm on Google I'm on Google Podcasts. Obviously, I'm on Spotify, like my home Spotify. And I'm doing everything I can to get on Apple to make it easier for you guys. So thank you for support. Thank you for listening. Red and Gold update number 11. As always, Red and Gold till I'm dead and cold.